Friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I am going to discuss with you some latest update from the banking domain. Just a couple of days back, this press release has been issued by RBI and a notification has also been put in their public domain. The topic is, it is important, my friends, just mind it. If deposit insurance is extended to prepaid instruments, what would be the impact? And for this purpose, let me tell you, in May 2022, RBI constituted a committee under the chairmanship of Deputy Governor Shri B.P. Kanungo. He is the former Deputy Governor, not the current one. So, under the chairmanship of former Deputy Governor B.P. Kanungo, they constituted a committee. RBI constituted a committee. And the committee was tasked. The work or frame of reference given to the committee was two major issues related to the banking domain. Number one, quality of customer service. As we are aware that banks are the service institutions, and because in other areas they are almost equal and parallel, it is the service provided by a particular bank to its customers counts very much for the development of business of that particular banking institution. So, quality of customer service and grievance redressal mechanism they had to address. So, they had proposed some changes here and there in the existing framework. It doesn't mean that before this committee the banks were not having a grievance redressal mechanism. All the banks are having this mechanism very much in place, and it is functional also. So, what was suggested by the committee on these two particular fronts, and including this one, the heading 1. Number 1, they have proposed that customer regulations, KYC documents storage in the digital platforms, we must have a centralized KYC document portal. Centralized KYC documents portal and a common portal for all the regulated entities for lodging and tracking complaints. So, two major changes suggested by the committee. Number 1, that we must have a centralized database for KYC documents, so that by any of the institutions, wherever the KYC documents related to a particular customer are needed, may be traced from this database. And number 2, they have suggested a common portal for lodging and tracking complaints registered by or made by the customers. Common portal means, common here means that common for all the regulated entities which are being regulated by RBI. Next point is, if deposit insurance is extended to PPIs, means prepaid instruments, what would be the impact? What would happen? So, I hope nothing is going to happen, but rather it will be a step in right direction, because prepaid instruments are very popular these days, And day before yesterday, RBI has said that some foreign exchange preloaded RuPay cards will also be available in the market. So prepaid instruments have become very popular these days. So in prepaid instrument wallets, the money lying there is a deposit. And this is important. Money lying in the prepaid instruments wallet is a deposit, and once it is treated as a deposit, so it must be given the same treatment as it is being given to the bank's deposits. It is a deposit, and PPI issuers, the institutions which are issuing prepaid instruments, are also regulated by RBI. So these are the entities regulated by RBI, so they must be treated at par. So once this deposit insurance is extended to PPI wallets, the money lying therein, it will be again a step or a measure which is very important. So this has been suggested by them, and it must be extended to PPI wallet, money lying there. Deposit insurance, as we are aware that up to rupees 5 lakh, every customer is having an account with a bank. So per customer, per bank, rupees 5 lakh are provided a 100% guarantee for repayment by Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation. And this deposit insurance earlier used to be only rupees 1 lakh. Now it has been hiked to rupees 5 lakh per customer per bank. So we must note that. And the committee has proposed that you have to extend the same facility, same deposit insurance to the money lying in PPI wallets. So again, a very good initiative or very good suggestion put forth by this committee. And thereafter, they have proposed a revolutionary suggestion, or they have put forth a very good suggestion, which we can call it as that we must have charter of customers' rights. That these institutions or the entities which are regulated by RBI must have a charter of customers' rights. And you should not only have the charter of customer rights, the customer rights must be made enforceable. And when I emphasize upon this point, that these customers' rights must be made enforceable, it means that the customers can enforce these rights through legal or any other alternative mechanism available for their enforcements. Even today, in the existing system or existing framework, customers of the banks have got a right to enforce their rights under Consumer Protection Act 2019. And there, it's a legal system, and the customers who qualify to be the consumers as per the definition provided by Consumer Protection Act 2019 can enforce their rights as consumers under Consumer Protection Act 2019. But the scope has been now widened by this committee. And what else? These rights have to be extended to all regulated entities regulated by RBI, including NBFCs. Friends, these days NBFCs are also playing a very critical and important and strategic role in lending operations. And their outreach in the rural areas is better than the outreach of the commercial banks branches. That is why this point that must be included NBFCs also in that customer charter of customers' rights. All these entities are regulated by RBI. And last but not the least, last point in this video is that consolidated customer service regulations. Now RBI is having customer service regulations. All banks have their board approved policies for customer service regulations. So what should be done? All these customer service regulations must be put in a common platform, and they must be uniform and uniformly applicable to all the customers of regulated entities which are regulated by RBI. So this way we are going to consolidate the things, prepare common platforms for complaints and for service regulations, and including the prepaid instruments. So these steps or these measures suggested by BP Kanungo Committee are important and will have a far-reaching impact on the banking business, including the business of PPIs and NBFCs. And I thought that this is important. I must share this information, for which the RBI has put already this information in public domain on 7th of July 2023. They have invited the feedback and comments on this framework, on these suggestions by this date, 7th July 2023. And thereafter, they means RBI will come out with a proper framework, well written, properly documented, well crafted, all rules and regulations in black and white. They will come out with a robust framework for this purpose. With these words, I conclude my video. I thank you very much for your support. In the end of this video also, I would like to request you to like and share my videos and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also press the bell icon button so that you get all my notifications in time. Thank you. Thank you very much. I am signing off.